Hello amazing artists, and for today's video what we're going to do is we're going to create a mixed media dinosaur using these materials. So we're going to need, or you're going to need, a yellow piece of construction paper, and if you don't have a yellow piece you can always take a regular piece and color it yellow. You're going to need a paper plate. Now I already have a yellow paper plate, so if you've got a paper plate you can just color it yellow. You're going to need a black crayon. You're going to need some scissors, and you're going to need some glue. Now, I will go ahead and say, if you've got a different colored paper plate, maybe you've got a red piece, then you can just make your dinosaur red. And so you could just take a red piece of construction paper, or just take a regular piece of paper and color it red. If you've got a green plate, then you could do the same thing. You could make your dinosaur green and take a green piece of construction paper or color a regular piece of paper green. If you just have a blank plate and color piece of paper, then you can pick whatever color you want and make your dinosaur that color. Okay, so I'll let you go ahead and collect those items: a piece of construction paper, a paper plate, scissors, glue, and a black crayon. And you can go ahead and pause the video if you need to find those items, but for everybody that already has those items, then we can go ahead and get started. So the very first thing that we're going to do is we're going to take our paper plate and we are going to cut it down the middle. So pretend there's a line down the middle of this plate, and we're just going to cut it along that line. Okay, so now we have two halves to the plate. What we're going to do now is we're going to flip the plates over, and we're going to glue the two plates together like this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my glue, I'm going to take the cap off of it, and you can use just regular glue, you don't have to have a glue stick, but I am just going to glue this piece, not the rim, because it's not going to be able to, my other piece is not going to be able to touch the rim, but right here, this part that sticks out, that's the part where I'm going to put all of my glue. And after I do that, I'm going to stick my other piece to that part, make sure they line up at the bottom. See, on this side they're not lined up all the way, so line them up on the bottom, and then we're just going to press the two pieces together and make sure that it dries stuck together. So there we go. So now either side we turn it on, it's yellow. So we are going to make a Brachiosaurus, and that's one of the dinosaurs that have the long necks. So we want to use proportion and make sure that the size of the neck is going to look right when we attach it to the size of the body. If we make it too small, it's not going to look proportional. If we make it too big, it's not going to look proportional. We want to make it look just right so that it looks like it belongs to the body of that dinosaur. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave my body right here, and that way I can sort of make sure it's proportional as I draw it. So I'm going to go ahead and draw the neck, maybe to about right there. That looks proportional. And I don't want to make it too skinny. I don't want to make it too thick. So I'm going to come to about right there. And as it goes up, it's going to get thinner and thinner. And that looks about proportional. So now I just need to draw the face. And that's going to be my face. So I'll be able to cut that out, and when I glue it to the paper, it's going to look proportional. I may even come down and extend this just a little bit more. So now I also need to make the feet to the Brachiosaurus. So we can use the same piece of construction paper. Let's just turn it to where now it's landscape, or side to side. So again, I'm going to lay my body down like that so I can make sure that my legs are proportional. And I'm going to create my legs just like this. So there's one leg, and I'm going to add these shapes for the toenails. And then I'm going to come over here and make another leg about that size. Toenails. I'm going to make some curved lines where the dinosaur's knees would bend. And the other legs, these are going to count as two, because we're going to say the other leg is behind this one, and on the other side, once we get it cut out, we'll just create another bend right here in the knee and toenails. Same thing for this one. We're going to pretend that the other leg is behind that one. So the last thing that we need to make is the tail. So let's make the tail like this. Again, we want it to be proportional. So we're going to hold the plate up to it. I'm going to bring it up like this. And then as I bring it back down, it's going to get thicker and thicker when it comes closer to the paper plate. So now all I've got to do is cut out what I just drew onto my paper. So I'm going to cut out this leg first. And I'm going to cut along the lines. I'm going to cut just a little bit extra so that I can glue that extra part down to the plate. So there's one leg cut out. Let's cut out the other leg. And remember, when I get to the top, I'm going to give a little bit of extra space to be able to glue my legs to the paper plate. So I'm going to go just above where I drew out my legs. So there's my other leg. Now I'm going to cut out the neck and the head. I'm cutting out a little bit extra right there. And lastly, I'm going to cut out the tail. And again, I'm going to leave a little bit of space here at the end to where I can glue my tail to the paper plate. So let's go ahead and clear out all the scraps that we don't need. That way they don't get in our way. And before we glue anything down, remember what I'm going to do with my legs. I'm going to turn them around and add a spot for the dinosaur's knee right there. Add some toenails. Do the same thing with this one. I'm going to add a spot for the knee and add some toenails. Also for the face, I'm going to add an eye like this, just a little eye, and then a dot for the nose. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. I'm going to add an eye, a dot for the nose, and now we are ready to glue to our dinosaur, or to the body. So what I'm going to do first is I will start with the head. I'll move the scissors and the crayon because I don't need them anymore. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to, right here on the very end, I'm going to glue this part and turn it around and do the same thing, except I'm going to hold it in the air so that the other side does not glue to the table. Glue the second part. And then I'm going to stick it inside of the plates as much as I can. I may even have to open the plate up a little bit from where I glued it earlier. stick in the head, and then close it back up. And the glue that I put on my dinosaur will reattach to those plates. So after I hold it and press down hard for a minute, I'm going to go ahead and move to the legs. So I'm going to do the same thing that I just did. At the top of the legs, I'm going to put some glue, then I'm going to hold it in the air, and at the top of that side, I'm going to put some glue. I'm going to go to the paper plates and open it up a little bit. And after I open it up a little bit and stick in my foot, or not my foot, but my leg, I'm going to close it back, and the glue that's on my leg should re-stick to those plates. So now we've got the neck and the head along with one of the legs. Let's go ahead and open this side to where we'll be ready just to stick in our leg in a minute. So we're going to very carefully open it back up so that it doesn't tear. And after I open it up a little bit, I'm going to go to the second leg. At the top, I'm going to add some glue. Then I'm going to stick it into that little place that I cleared off a minute ago. Make sure that it's about just as long as my first leg. And once I do that, I'm going to close the paper plates shut. And the glue that's on those legs should make the paper plate stick back together. So now the only thing that I have left is my dinosaur's tail. So let's go ahead and see where we want it, maybe about right there. So I'm going to open up the plate just a little bit right there in order to be able to stick my tail in there when it's time. And let's go ahead and on this side, let's add some glue. And then on the other side, let's add some glue. And after we've added the glue, let's stick it into the spot that we cleared just a minute ago. So I'm going to press that down in there hard. And now we have our very own dinosaur, mixed media dinosaur, made from using different materials. We used construction paper and a paper plate. And our dinosaur is also proportionate. Its head looks like it goes with its body. Its tail looks like it goes with its body. And its legs look like they go with its body. There's not one piece of the dinosaur that looks too small or too big for its body. So it's all proportional. I hope everybody has an awesome rest of your day, and goodbye.